Yep.
Grateful to have Tim Bingham here filming for us. He does videography. And so in addition to our regular sponsors, we have Tim Bingham. Other sponsors are My Sanpete, the Workspace, and the Grit Center. If you don't know what any of those do, please come up to me afterwards. I'd love to tell you a little bit more about our sponsors. So we will go ahead and get started. First, is there any news or announcements from the community? I can't think of any, but
Alan's class that he was doing, I don't know if he gave you guys discounts, but he's doing Alan's class is going to be on the 25th.
He did offer a discount.
He'd offer a
He
discount.
did, yeah.
Okay.
okay.
But if any business wants to do that, we can look at custom fit on top of that as well.
Okay, so that's Alan Christensen's class, right?
Yeah.
And he's willing to offer a discount to the group.
Yes.
Yes.
And maybe you could email me that and I'll have it in case anyone is interested.
Yeah.
Anyone online or?
We can make that happen.
Okay, cool. Any other news or announcements before we move on? So we don't have an email list sign up this week. Michelle should be back and she may have one, so we may do it a little bit later. But I wasn't expecting her to not be here at the beginning. So, but if you would like to get signed up, you can give me a business card and we'll put you on the email list in case you're not getting those alerts. So again, as always, our goals are build a network of local entrepreneurs, promote and share referrals for local businesses. So this is a time that you can come, share what you do for your business, and we would love to know so we can refer people to you. Share best practices, learn together, understand local service opportunities, and promote economic sustainability. So if you have other goals, please come and talk to us after. We'd love to try to integrate your goals with our goals because really these goals weren't created by me, they were created by this group. And so we want to make sure that we're focused in the right direction to serve your needs. We don't have a business show and tell this month unless someone would like to show and tell their business last minute. Okay, it sounds like maybe we have a volunteer.
Hi everybody, I'm Shanine with Lots of Thoughts. I have a DIY makerspace. We moved to the bowling alley, so we have a bigger space. We have classroom tables. I am having a grand opening on the 23rd at 1. You're all invited. There's going to be a little make and take for you to DIY while you're there. So there you go.
Thank you. Anyone else while we're at it? So this period of the meeting is for announcements like that. It's also designed to give entrepreneurs in this group a chance to talk about their business and get feedback. So not just promote, which is fine. We love the promotions, but also you could come and say, this is what I'm doing, or this is a new strategic initiative I'm going after. What do you think? And then get feedback. So I personally, as an entrepreneur, I love feedback because, you know, it's the best. Who wants to spend a lot of money and time and effort on something that's just going to fail? So that's what this time is about. You can email me at online.boink.biz if you'd like to sign up to show and tell your business any month that we hold this meeting. So without further ado, we will introduce TaraLee. She's going to be presenting to us today, and I have a short bio. So she guides entrepreneurs as they navigate the pitfalls and exhilaration of starting a new business. She completed her undergrad degree at the National University of the UAE. Is that in
the United Arab Emirates?
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Wow, that's
A little way from Sanpete.
right.
Yep.
She's an avid reader, an intrepid traveler who loves exploring new locations and cultures through food and cooking. She also works here at Snow College in the Grit Center, where she has honed her ability to ask the right questions and push entrepreneurs to discover their own right solutions. So please help me welcome TaraLee.
Thanks to Ben for that introduction. I love working with you guys, so this is one of my favorite things. I did do my bachelor's degree in the United Arab Emirates in Abu Dhabi is the city. It's called Zayed University. And then I completed an MBA and an economics master's degree here in the US at Indiana University and Purdue. So that's my academic background, but here at the Grit Center, I help students learn how to start businesses, and I've been doing some consulting with marketing and packaging and things with customer alignment for different purposes with businesses, with small businesses, so less than 5 million in revenue, which I think most of you probably fall in that category. So I'd be happy to help you. Today, what we're going to talk about is sort of mapping your business and understanding your business. One of the things that has surprised me as I've gotten to meet with more entrepreneurs, and even in my MBA cohort, I had quite a few members of my cohort who were starting businesses, and they hadn't been exposed to these kinds of entrepreneurship principles, and they didn't really know how to take their business apart and understand the different pieces and what they were doing so they could market correctly or make sure that their customer wanted their product, those kinds of things. So I'm going to walk you guys through that today. I wanted to start with one of your businesses, if you're okay with that. I know that sometimes people are nervous. Hopefully we're not bashing your business, so I don't think you have to be too worried about it. But is there anybody who'd be willing to let us use their business as an example for this? Shanine? Are we okay? I'm sorry, I haven't met you. Tell me your name.
My name is Rich.
Rich. Okay, nice to meet you, Rich. We'll go with Shanine, but hopefully this will make sense for your business as well. This is called a lean canvas. And
If you can't see it, we encourage you to bring your chair
yes,
back.
I would encourage you to move if you need to see it. But this is an open source tool that's available to you online. It's not something that you do once, either when you're starting a business or once you're operating a business. This is something you kind of revisit as your business develops to make sure that you're kind of staying on target with what you're doing with your business. And I did want to cover a little bit why this is important. I know I hope that it sounds intuitive, that it's important to understand your business and your customer for marketing and for other purposes, but as much as it sounds intuitive, a lot of people don't understand. And there are famous examples of big companies who sort of missed the mark. One example of this is there was a new video game that was launched, and the main marketing campaign, they put it out in AARP magazine for this video game. And I think that the thought process behind this was that grandparents would maybe buy it for grandchildren, but completely failed marketing campaign. There aren't a lot of people who read AARP who are super interested in video games. Usually if they're buying something for grandkids, they're asking their grandkids what game they want. They're not sort of guessing on their own, from a marketing campaign. Another interesting thing about understanding your audience or your customer is to take Walmart. Can you tell me what kinds of products do you typically find at Walmart? And I don't mean categories of products, but like, I promise I'm not after a specific answer, but it sounds like I am. If you go to Walmart, if you want the latest, like, cutting edge technology, is Walmart the place you're gonna go? No. Probably not, right? So Walmart understands their customers, and they understand that if there's a new thing that's really expensive, Walmart is not the first place that you're gonna launch that, because that's not an audience that is really interested in trying new expensive things, right? We can get a fidget spinner after they've been out for 6 months, we can find them at Walmart, right? When we know that they're successful and that everybody wants one. But before that, it's not something that you're gonna find at Walmart. So now back to Shanine's business. So Shanine, what we're gonna start with is, what problem is your business solving?
Oh gosh, what is my business solving? Maybe hands-on learning.
Okay, so a need for hands-on learning.
Right.
Okay.
I'm gonna encourage you
Oh,
to have right up front
oh,
so that you can actually read the board.
oh, yeah, that's true.
And I'm sorry, Shanine. I will try to repeat what you say too so that they know what you're saying. So you're solving the problem of a need for hands-on learning. Are you solving any other problem? So in case you don't know, Shanine's business is Lots of Thoughts. I know you talked about your new grand opening. Did you explain what it was when you talked about the new opening?
DIY makerspace.
Yeah. So kind
So
of,
all things crafty.
yes. Crafty things you can go make yourself and you don't have to own all the equipment. Like you don't need to buy a Cricut or a heat press or a
Laser cutter.
yeah, laser cutter. Shanine has
Yeah.
all the cool stuff and you can just go use it. Yes.
A problem she has actually solved for me a couple times because my kids love to craft. I don't want to go get the stuff. I don't have the space. And then they'll do it once and then I got all the stuff left that they will never touch again.
Okay, so can we say, if we had to put that in like succinctly, if we say like she's solving for the mess, is that kind of accurate? Okay, so.
And probably also saving my customers money
Okay,
because they don't have to go buy all the supplies
okay,
and then have leftover supplies filling up a closet.
okay. So we're saving money on supplies because we might want to make one thing with a laser cutter and we don't have to spend $3,000 on a laser cutter.
Yes.
Okay, so these are all problems that, and I'm going to say that you think, it's not because I'm calling you that you don't know, but this is how this tool works. We're kind of making some assumptions here and then we're going to check them. So these are the problems that we think Lots of Thoughts is solving for Shanine's customers. Now, based on these problems, Shanine, and some experience because your business has been up and running, can you tell us who your customer is? Not by name, but we're looking for demographic information here, as specific as you want to get.
It's usually women
Okay,
and moms,
okay,
and the majority of them have been maybe working moms. They
okay,
don't have time to do the project themselves.
okay, busy.
Yeah.
Okay. What about like household income? Do you think you could, I know that you're guessing, you don't ask people this question, but.
Like a range? You mean?
Yeah, or do you think it matters? You can say,
I don't think it matters.
okay, no income qualification.
Yeah.
Do you know why, like when people come in, what types of things are they making? Are they for all different purposes or are they for specific purpose? Like are
gifts. The
they're
number
gifts?
one thing is gifts.
Okay, so they're gifts. So we didn't even touch on that. This is why this is interesting when we start talking. So I know you guys can't see this. This box says customer segments. We're talking about who Shanine's customer is. We didn't touch, when we said we're solving problem, we didn't touch on gifts.
True.
So do you think that that's your primary thing is gifts?
Yeah.
And do you think people are making it for gifts because they wanted to make it anyway and they have to justify it, or did they need a gift?
They wanted a personalized
Okay.
gift.
Okay. So
Custom.
yeah, personalized. So now you can see we've already revisited something we sort of assumed that this is, and do you think this is the primary thing, or do you think it fits in somewhere with these?
Probably just fits in.
Okay, so it's one more in the list
Right.
of reasons why people might come in. Okay, so we've got a customer segment that Shanine has described for us pretty well. Is there an age for these? You said there are usually moms, so can we put an age on it or an age range?
Yeah. Maybe 30 to 60.
Okay. And we can kind of see already why this is important, right? Like we said, we don't advertise video games in AARP magazine because they're not buying it, right? So, you know, Shanine might not want to be targeting people on Snapchat with her advertisements because this is probably not your demographic, right? So already we've got a little bit of information about how we can market just by kind of honing in on our demographic. So the solution, which is your business, but if you could put it succinctly in like one or two sentences, what is the solution that you're offering to these problems?
The solution to those problems, let's see, teaching them hands-on skill, teaching them a skill. making them gifts for them. I really don't.
That's okay. That's why we do this.
Yeah,
Like
I'm like,
it seems straightforward, and then when we talk about it, yeah.
You're making it easy.
Okay, so
Easy, there you go.
so it's a
Making
space,
it easier on them.
right? Yeah, Abby.
Easy.
You avoid the whole Pinterest failing.
Okay. So it's a, well, I'm going to say it's a space because one of these things we talked about is like a mess or lots of equipment. So you're providing a space
Right.
where people can be successful. Is that right? At making a personalized gift or at making a personalized item. Should we just say it's an item? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes it's something for themselves.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the solution, a space where people can be successful at making a personalized item because you provide them with the tools and the education if they need it, help if they need it, probably ideas if they need it, right? Experience. So is there anything that you feel like I've really missed with this
No, that's
sentence?
good. That's
Okay. Okay. So now you guys, this tool, when I teach it to students, we spend like weeks going through this with them. Then I'm giving you the 20-minute version, so I hope that you won't dismiss this tool just because we're kind of burning through it. What we would do now with Shanine's existing business is we would say, okay, this is who Shanine thinks her customer is, and she's probably right. She's a good idea who comes in and out of her store. Shanine is going to approach this group because she has an in-person business, so you don't even have to sort of seek them out. When they come into your shop, you can just kind of chat with them while they're making a craft, right? And you can say, oh, tell me, we've talked about these problems we've identified. Tell me about your experience crafting before this. And they'll tell you a story. And that's what we want our customers to do, is tell us a story. Because like I said, we've made lots of assumptions about them, about who they are to begin with, and about what problems we're solving for them, and about how we are solving it. And so if we get Shanine's customers to tell us a story, they're gonna say, oh, I always loved crafting as a kid, and I feel like now crafting is so sophisticated. There's Pinterest and there's all these awesome projects, and I just always felt like my own crafts, when I did them at my house, like fell short because I didn't have the right equipment, or I didn't know how to do it, or my kids got into it because I didn't have space for it, right? And this story that I'm telling you, it matches with what we've assumed. That may or may not be the case with her customers. She might find out that her customers say, oh, I don't really want to figure this out. And I didn't even want to come up with an idea, and I knew if I came into your shop that you would have a great idea, and I don't even have to think about it, and you just tell me what to do and I could do it, or I'm going to have you custom make it. I don't even want to make it myself. I'm just going to ask you to make it. You might find out actually nobody wants to make anything. They just want a custom item that is kind of crafty, and maybe instead of having a space where people can come, you just need 5 people who can make a customized thing and sort of talk people through like a gift consultant, right?
Right.
So I don't know what answer Shanine is going to find when she sort of chases this pathway, but it helps her understand her customers. And there are a few ways that feeds into our marketing, which is specifically what we are addressing with this, for today, is that this feeds into marketing, which is we know who to market to, which tells us where to find those people in some ways, right? There's some trial and error there, but maybe you find out that these people all there's a craft boutique that happens twice a year, and everybody in this demographic ends up there. So you can go advertise your company and hand out a discount card or showcase some of your products, right? Or we know in Sanpete County, this demographic is on Facebook. So we know, okay, maybe targeted ads on Facebook are going to be more successful than some other platforms that we have available to us, because I know that these women are on Facebook. One example that I want to talk to you about that kind of showcases a little bit more nuance in this topic is body wash. I want to specifically talk about men's body wash, or men's body care products, let's say deodorant or other things. So if I have a man-specific brand, like I'm like Old Spice, right? We have Old Spice. We can tell by their packaging and by their marketing, they're primarily marketing their products to men, right? I'm sure there are women who use them, but that's not their primary market. But where do you think that Old Spice needs to advertise in order to reach that audience? And I'm looking for answers, so.
Commercials between sporting events or at Tractor Supply or the hardware store.
Good ideas. Any other ones?
A lot of times it's the women in their lives who buy those products for them.
Absolutely. So this is the thing, right? We say, okay, it's a men's product. We're going to put it like a lot of men's brands say. We're going to make our strong marketing campaign in Esquire or Rolling Stone or like Car and Driver, right? Because men are our demographic. But actually, when they get into the nuts and bolts of it, 80% of those purchasing decisions are made by women. So while our target user is men, the person who actually has to be convinced to buy it is the women in their life, their mom or their wife or their girlfriend or whoever.
Under 20%.
Yeah, which is fine, and that's interesting, right? That's the other thing, is that we make assumptions about our market or about our customers based on our own experience.
Right.
And I am sorry, I keep grabbing my mic. Sorry to whoever watches this later. Hopefully, no one. Is that we make assumptions based on our own experience, because we have one life that we've tried and we've done it a certain way, and we think that that's how it works for everybody. It turns out we're all weirdos, and not everybody does things the way that we do them.
Right.
So that's another reason why it's sort of important to understand our customers and why we get them to tell the story. So if I were selling men's deodorant and I'm marketing for Old Spice and I talk to men and I say, tell me about buying deodorant. They're going to say, I don't buy deodorant. Like, I just use whatever my wife buys, and this is the scent she likes, and that's why, and or like, that other brand made me itchy, so I told her I didn't like it, and she switched to this brand. You know what I mean? So you're going to get these stories about, I don't actually buy the deodorant. So that's why stories are really important, because if you ask leading questions of your customer or who you think your customer is, and if I just said to you, Ben, tell me if price influences your buying decision for deodorant.
No,
Do you buy your deodorant?
I do.
Okay, so Ben buys his deodorant. But if you didn't, you might still tell me yes or no, but it wouldn't really matter because you didn't make the decision, right?
I guess.
Well,
And I buy mine. So.
Yeah, Ben buys his. So, but if you asked, I'm trying to think of something in our house that's that way, where it would be distinct from that. Another famous example of this is there's a product called Owlet socks. Have you guys heard of this? This is a famous example. They're socks that take oxygen saturation levels of babies to tell you that they're like breathing and their heart's beating and things. And the company initially thought that their target market was nurses. So they took this product into hospitals because nurses would say, oh, there's so many problems with the little oxygen saturation monitors we use on babies. They have a cord, the babies kick it off, so we're always getting bad readings. It's annoying, we hate it. So they brought this product into hospitals, they tested it, nurses loved it, it was their favorite thing ever, they wanted it. Turns out nurses don't buy those oxygen saturation monitors. Hospital CEOs do. And the hospital CEOs said, your product's like a lot more expensive. We don't care if the nurses hate it. This other one does the job and it's cheaper. So if you miss your customer, like who's actually buying your product, you can have big problems. So Owlet ended up marketing their products to parents so that they could monitor, like watching for SIDS or babies who had medical problems, so that the parents could monitor themselves. Parents are willing to spend enormous amounts of money on their new baby to make sure that they're breathing and that their blood is oxygenated, right? So that's another example of kind of how it's important to understand not just who you think it is, but who's actually doing it, who's making the purchasing decision, and that helps you tailor your marketing campaign or your advertising to them. Another thing that comes out when you start asking questions, like I was saying Shanine might ask about, tell me about your experience crafting, is that you find out your product is a little bit off. Like I said, maybe Shanine will find out nobody really wants to make it themselves. They just think that's their only option if they want a personalized gift maybe at the last minute or something. Maybe I said, oh, I came to you because I don't want to make it and I need it for tomorrow. And I know that I can come and it's just solved. And she finds out that's 90% of her customers are people who just want that. Then Shanine can maybe cut way down on the kinds of services and products that she offers and just market herself to say, hey, need a last minute personalized gift in Sanpete County? Like, give us a phone call, right? You don't even have to come in, just call us on the phone and we'll text you picture of options, right? So you can kind of keep from over designing your product by making sure that what you're offering is really what people want and not giving them more choices than they need for their product.
Wrong inventory, because I have,
Yeah.
I mean, you've hit the nail on the head right there, because I have purchased things that I'm like, well, I think it's fun and I like it, but there are very, very few that have, so I have stuff sitting on the shelf.
Yes.
That I'm going to have to eventually clearance.
Yeah.
To get off.
Yeah, and we all do that. We all sort of assume that people's point of view and that their experience is similar to ours. And there are good reasons why we assume that, but there are really concrete ways that we can test those assumptions and find out. And if we had more time today, I would talk to you about how to ask those questions, because not asking leading questions is really important. One example that I use a lot for my students is to say, if I said, oh, Ephraim, tell me if I had a water bottle, like let's pretend I have a green water bottle. Abby has is that a shaker bottle, Abby? Okay, look at Abby's shaker bottle, Ephraim. Tell me, what don't you like about Abby's shaker bottle and what do you like?
Well, it looks like it's a Mr. Beast bottle. That's kind of the first thing that I see.
Okay.
It just says Beast though.
Do you like
the color?
the color and the size of that bottle?
I like the size of it, because if it's too big, then it's kind of bulky to try and carry around, especially like if you want it in your backpack, and then it's just too much liquid, or you don't always fill it all the way up. So I like it.
Okay, Abby Ephraim likes the size. What about the color?
Color's good too, and it's nice that you can see inside it. I like to see how much liquid is left.
Okay.
So that I can
Is there anything missing from that bottle that you need in a bottle?
No, that looks pretty hardy. I drop my water bottle a lot.
Okay. So we need it to be tough.
Pop open.
Okay.
That's the only thing I'd be worried about. Maybe it would pop open when I drop it.
Sounds like Abby might have some complaints about her shaker bottle.
It doesn't have the loop here.
Okay.
Oh, we can't carry it.
I need that little loop to just be on my finger so I have a free hand.
Anybody else have any comments about this shaker bottle? Like Ben, do you like that shaker bottle?
Yeah.
Shanine wants a handle. Ben likes the shaker bottle. Color's perfect, size is perfect.
I like it to be exactly 600 milliliters.
Okay. Okay.
That's just me. And that looks a little bit bigger than I would buy it.
Okay, Ben thinks it's a little big.
I'm not stainless steel.
Okay, Michelle wants it to be stainless steel.
It's not
Here it
stainless.
falls.
Okay, Michelle, if I make a stainless steel one and I charge $15, does that sound like a good price to you for a stainless steel shaker bottle? Okay, Michelle likes my price. We're gonna add a handle. We're gonna make sure it's tough. And then I'm gonna make my bottle and I'm gonna go to Michelle and I'm gonna say, okay, Michelle, here's this $15 shaker bottle. Are you gonna buy it right now? She says yes, but the reality is maybe Michelle doesn't use shaker bottles, but I just sort of forced her to give me an opinion, right?
My husband, because he does.
Okay, so she would buy it for her husband, but when we force people to give us answers, sometimes we're getting answers from people who aren't our customer. So, it sounds like all of you actually use shaker bottles, which is bad luck for me. But sometimes we have students who are saying to people, well, if I made it pink, would you like it? And they're like, oh yeah, I love pink. But they don't want the thing anyway. So it doesn't matter if you make it pink or purple or green or titanium or whatever, they're never gonna buy it. And you're gonna have made a pink shaker bottle with a handle out of stainless steel. And they're like, yeah, but I don't want a shaker bottle. But I never asked that question. I never said, do you like shaker bottle? Or do you use a shaker bottle? Or how often do you replace your shaker bottle? So we have to be really careful with how we ask those questions, that we aren't getting answers that aren't relevant to what we're trying to do with our company. Because we need people who are willing to buy our product. And so if they're not willing to buy our product, their opinion doesn't really matter. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Would that be considered like asking leading questions to get the answer we want?
Yeah, it can be to try got to get the answer you want, or it can be not verifying that they're actually your customer anyway. So if I say, Tim, tell me about your experience with shaker bottles. How often do you use a shaker bottle at your house?
I don't.
Yeah, right? So, okay, I don't care what Tim thinks about your shaker bottle now, right? Because he already told me he doesn't use shaker bottles. He's not going to buy one. There are companies and there are products where people are trying to convince someone that they need the product. But that is a much more expensive marketing campaign than most people are willing to take, because you're risking so much in trying to say, well, not only do I have to make this product, but I have to convince someone that they want it when they don't already know that they want it. And that's not usually the kind of the business that we're in. And so just know that if you feel like you have to try to convince people to want the thing you have picked a much harder startup for your company. So, but if people are already saying I want it, like there are products that I had students pitch in a competition. They were marketing brush head for a vacuum that had little silicone fingers that would pick up hair. You might have noticed I have a lot of hair. And then the little silicone fingers would retract so that you could get the hair off of the roller and clean it really easily without taking your whole vacuum apart, or like getting out the razor blade or whatever. You could just clean it off. And I was like, when you have this product, like, I want to buy the prototype, right? I am their customer now before their product even works. Like, I want their product. And those are the people that you want to find. Like, they don't have to convince me it's a good idea. I already am in love with their product. And that's kind of where you want to start from, especially from a small business perspective, is you want people who already want what you're selling. So, any questions? I know that was like baptism by fire for Lean Canvas, but I'm happy to answer any questions. Yeah.
I have a statement to make.
Okay.
The problem with leading questions and getting the answer you want, that's not the answer you want.
Right.
Yes.
If you want the answer that you're not prepared for, that's what you want.
Yep.
So you gotta be careful in leading questions.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, Abby.
So it's funny because yesterday I was running this, like, I had extra stuff and I was trying to get it out the door. So I just I have 2 dozen of this left over if you want it.
Yeah.
And someone's like, not for that price. And I'm like, all right. Like, this person obviously just wants to argue with me. But my first instinct was to go, no, but this is why you want it.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? I don't want this person's business. I don't want to deal with them. And I had a friend jump on and immediately try to defend me. I'm like, honey, it's okay. I'm not for everyone.
Yeah.
And they both quit arguing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't have the energy to put into convincing people they want my stuff, because it's got to go into making my stuff.
Yep. And if you find no one wants it, you might have to rethink your model, right? But you're absolutely right. Not everyone is your customer. And when you try to design a product that's for everyone, you find that you've over-designed it in some way, or that you've spread yourself too thin with too many products, or there are lots of pitfalls to that. You're carrying too many SKUs, and it causes a lot of problems with your inventory and keeping track of what you're selling. So, Ephraim, did you have a question or comment?
I just wanted to know, you said you do consulting. Could
Yeah.
you share like how we can get in contact with you? And that
Yes,
stuff?
right now your best bet is to contact me on LinkedIn. So I don't have an official page for my consulting work, but I'm happy to work with anybody. And because I'm a new consulting company, I am learning along with my clients, which means you get a great deal for your money while I'm learning with you. So as how to best deliver the content to you. I'm very confident in what I can teach you, but how to best deliver it to my clients is like an exciting thing for me. So I'll be asking for lots of feedback from whoever comes my way. The last thing I wanted to leave you with then, that's particularly pertains to marketing, because that was kind of where we were focusing with this, is that in marketing, you need to focus on helping your customer, like focus on helping your customer, not explaining what your business does. So you're going to explain how you can help them, not this is what I do. They don't really care. Like, you don't care how the cake is made, right? You just want to know that there's cake. So your customers want to know what we don't know yet, but we're assuming your customers want to know, I have a space where you can come make crafts and leave the mess here and have a personalized product when you're done, right?
That's not what you say when you tell people you're about to leave. I have no idea what you were doing.
Yeah.
Zero.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's totally true. That is
Yeah.
this, but this is kind of the direction you're going, where you say, need a last minute gift. come to lots of thoughts. You know, last minute personalized gift, come to lots of thoughts, right? Something about what problem you're solving for them. The second one is you want to let your customers tell you whether the experience was useful or not. And there are a variety of ways to do that. We don't have time to cover that tonight, but you want to make sure that you're getting the feedback, and then kind of coupled with that is let your customers speak for you, which is if you're meeting their need and you're solving a problem for them, they're going to be your biggest marketing tool because they're going to love the experience that they had with your company, and they're going to know. You know, we talk a lot in small towns and rural communities about how difficult it is to kind of reach our audience and our customers, but we all know everybody's business. If it's interesting to somebody, if it's interesting to your customers, they're going to tell their friends and they're going to text them right away, or their friend's going to love the gift that they gave them or something. So when there's interest and when you're meeting the need, people will tell other people about you. So as if you've sort of met that need, the marketing piece becomes a lot more simple. So thank you so much for letting me take your time tonight, and I hope we see you all again in the Grit Center. Thank you.
Big thanks to TaraLee. Thank you everyone for coming. We're glad to see so many faces again. Quick question, over the summer, do you guys think we'll have more people coming to this meetup or less? Also, how important is it that we meet in the same building, or should we meet maybe at a local business and just network a little bit? Any thoughts on that question?
I'll be here during the summer.
You'll be around?
I'm here during the summer too.
I am too.
Okay. All right. One idea we had was maybe meet at a local business. So if is that something that would be interesting, or do you like this format where we just come here, learn something, network, hopefully do a business show and tell? Go ahead.
Maybe a local business that does food.
A local business with food? Yeah, so we could
So we can eat.
have dinner.
Have dinner and.
It would be kind of fun to go to her spot and actually see the crafts and things that.
Yeah, you
she
guys are
does.
welcome. Yeah, come to my place, and the bowling alley is there, so there's
Bowling
food.
alley.
So there's food in the bowling
Actually
alley.
seeing the company and what they're doing and what you're working on is actually beneficial.
So summer field
Once in a
trips.
while.
Summer field trips is what
Oh,
I'm hearing.
that's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
Field trips to our businesses this summer.
Cool. Well, that was an idea we had, so it sounds like it resonates well. So we'll watch for the emails. If we don't have you on the email list, give me your card before you leave. I'll put you on it so that you know where and when. But as of now, it's always, the second Wednesday at 7 p.m. So we'll just do it the same time, but maybe at a different location. So watch that email. And again, thank you for coming, and we'll network a little bit and go from there.